right, it's March 31st. Every month at the end of the month, I like to check in on my annual goals and see how I'm stacking up towards, achieving my financial plan for the year. These are the things that I'm focusing on. Um, if you've never been here before, I'll try to explain a little more as I go. So, for the first one, paying off my student loans. In the US right now, student loan interest is paused. So, I am just setting that money aside and not making any payments towards the actual loans themselves. So, this one will stay the same. I am setting money aside towards that in a separate account and just kind of stacking that money and letting it build until the payments kick back in. So this will change somewhere around here, start changing month over month, but for now, it's the same. My annual income I track by just seeing what my gross pay is year to date at the end of the month. I use my gross pay to track my savings rate and all that kind of stuff, which I just recently started looking at. So I just like to keep track of that. I have personal goals of what I want my annual income to get up to by certain ages and stuff. Original goal was 100K by 35. I'm 30 and I just hit that this year, so I need to update my goals. Not a bad problem to have, eh? So I just checked, and for this year so far, and again, this is gross, not net at all. So $21,205.31 for 3 months of income. That's not bad, is it? I'll take it. Okay. Now, obviously, like I said, there's a good 20. I think I just did the math. It's like 26% of that's already gone to just plain old taxes and such. And then I am saving for student loans and all that. So it's certainly not what I live on, but it's still nice to see. More than I made some years when I was younger. So my net worth. I track using YNAB, so my net worth over time hasn't changed much. Like I said, it's some. My change in net worth is some. Like I said, I'm just now starting to save, but I don't save on budget. So my budget does not know that I have that money set aside. So this will, again, once I go into repayment, we'll get a big bump. But for now, at this moment, it is this number right here that we're looking for. In the red, but hey, what are we going to do? Gonna be in the red for a while. I've got like something like $12,000 set aside for paying down my student loans right now, and that's just stacking up. So that'll keep going. This has been pretty stagnant this year, but hey, what are you gonna do? All right, so the Fat Fire category. This is kind of a silly thing to track, but it makes me happy. It is if I were to retire right now, how much would my retirement savings get me every month? Obviously, these numbers are not exactly Fat Fire numbers, but that's the goal eventually. Right now, that is $99.06. That's up quite a bit, y'all. This little spreadsheet, by the way, is from Budgets Are Sexy, and it's nice. It's $99.06. I'm not contributing a lot to my retirement right now because I am focused on the student loans, but it's nice to see this number go up little by little by little, because in my mind, this is just the passive income that I've generated for my future self. So that's pretty nice. Home ownership, again, not something I'm actively saving for a ton, just because I have, again, I keep repeating myself, but the student loans are my main focus right now, but it makes me feel better to put little bits towards other things, just to really see a little bit of traction. It's kind of negligible, but I currently am at $125 towards a down payment. Hey, I'll take it. It's more than I've ever had before, right? And again, that's another savings I do off budget. Just if I have it off budget, it doesn't get put into other categories. It has a tendency to walk away pretty quick. Fully funded emergency fund is here. My plan is a 6-month emergency fund. I also track how close I am to 12. Not very close to 6 either, because again, repeat after me, you guessed it, not something I'm super focused on right now. I have over a month of expenses set aside, creeping up on 3 months of expenses. Not creeping up, I'm almost at 50%, but I have more than a month of expenses set aside, and that's good for me. I have a lot of skills that could easily get me a job quickly. Wouldn't necessarily be the job making the amount of money I'm making right now, but it could certainly pay my rent. So I don't really keep more than a month right now, because I'm also in a pretty stable pretty stable environment as far as my work goes. So, $2,500 eating out 2023. The goal is to spend no more than $2,500 eating out in this year. Now, eating out that's not date night and that's not travel. Those are separate categories for me. But eating out like DoorDash and just picking stuff up on the way home. Okay, so what you can see here is that ordering food total for the year. In the month of March, it was only $183.82, and that is under budget, which is good because I was over budget in February. But that is also because we were traveling quite a lot in March, so there's that. But total spending so far for the year, $654.51. So that is where we're at so far with my goals right here in March. Just a little bit of progress across the board, I'd say. I honestly, this is gonna sound stupid, but I kind of can't wait for the summer when student loans go back into repayment so I can actually see my numbers change, because I've just been sitting and saving and sitting and saving, and that is good and that's great and it's gonna make major progress, but not seeing the numbers go down, I'm like sitting on my hands just waiting. So, we'll see. I'm waiting to apply any of the money just because I want to see how they're going to apply any student loan forgiveness that comes. So I'm just waiting, twiddling my thumbs. We'll see. We'll get there. But yeah, that's my March update. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll check you next time.